Welcome to Kansas Speedway for the next installment of the Xfinity cars for SSR. And we've got a good treat for us in the booth tonight. And Christian is going to join me. Christian, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing all right, John. I had a little free space on the calendar today, so I thought I'd come up here and commentate for the second week now for this Xfinity series.
Hey, and what better track to do it at than what you would really consider to be your home track in Kansas?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Kansas Speedway only about what, an hour and a half, 2 hours away. Definitely it definitely is what I've called a home track. I've tested an ARCA car here back in the day, so I know the track pretty well, and I've put a lot of laps in here. I've definitely put more time into learning the track and how to be good here. But yeah, uh, you know, uh, seems fit that I'm back up here in the booth for, I guess you'd call my home track.
It's going to be really nice because I think, especially for Kansas, I'm excited to see this. We've had some really good, strong racing so far at the beginning of this Xfinity season. We saw a really dominant performance last week. We saw a pretty close race at Daytona the week before. So at the third race here at Kansas, I'm really excited to see how these drivers are going to take to this track. I've turned some laps here, and Christian, I know you've turned a lot of laps here at Kansas. um, are we looking for somebody to run the top line? We're looking for the bottom line. Can they be fast on both lines tonight?
I definitely think both lines can work. I'm definitely a top feeder here. That's kind of how I learned to be fast, but I've definitely gotten my butt whooped here with guys who have learned the bottom here, especially in the Xfinity car. I know that the next gen, it's a lot easier and you save tires better on the top, but I've definitely seen, you can definitely use the bottom here to and be just as quick. So, and then once again, it's just going to be about if you do run the top, how hard do you push the car and because it's so easy to get up into that outside wall.
No, I completely agree, and I do think that we're going to see it's favorable temperatures, right? So 77 degrees tonight. I think we're going to see that top line really strong, especially from the outset of a green flag to 25, 30 laps in, and then I think those that have been saving tires, from 20 laps on, I think you're going to start to see those come in. But it's just how much of a gap can those guys running the top line really get on those guys that are bottom feeding. So it's going to be kind of a tell of two races here. If it goes green, I think the bottom line is going to take it. If it's short run speed, I think you're going to see some guys ripping the top and really going hard.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I definitely think you have to get the tires warmed up to get the top going. You have to get some rubber laid down there up top because it's so slick, especially on it with a fresh track like this. To get to get the car and that top prepped, kind of is using it kind of in a dirt term, but you have to really prep that top to get it working right. And I think I think like it's easier to run the bottom, but once again, if you don't use it right, you definitely burn off that right front of line. You will start to see guys get a little tight and start to maybe get into the outside wall, and that could definitely cause calamity if we see drivers going side by side on the exit of these corners.
I agree, and we have to remember this series, even though we would consider it to be, a beginner series or a sub 2500 IR series. Uh, you know, we still do not have fast repairs with SSR, so that's going to be a thing. If you get into the wall and it lifts the right front fender on these cars, and that thing becomes a sell out here, you're certainly going to fall back, and you're going to fall back in a hurry. So I think that has something to do with it. But I'm interested to see some of the drivers. I believe that last week we were able to see kind of the same usual suspects. We have Adam winning both races, and then we have Isaac. I believe he has finished second. Isaac Mock on both of those. But I think we have some guys sitting back that had some great runs. I think Johnny Barker was really fast. Cliff Adams I've seen up there. I think we've got some drivers that can put in some pretty spectacular performances tonight.
Yeah, just looking at the practice charts, you're going to see some new people. I mean, Joe Hudson has shown speed in the Cup Series and the trucks and everything. I mean, John Fowler, P3 and practice. I mean, we talked to him a little bit before the show started up, and he talked about putting a lot of practice in and talking about how he was really more comfortable on the top. So a lot of I would say there's a lot of drivers that we seen up front, but also a couple of guys that are steadily improving here, making their way up here.
I agree, and I think Fowler. I know personally has put a lot of time in. We did a little bit of practice. Him and I did when SSR put up a practice session. So I do know that he's turned some laps here. We look to see, and he's had some good runs. He had some good runs in the trucks. He's had some good runs in the Cup Series and here as well. I believe he was second at Daytona. So you can never count Fowler out as well. So when you look at at the guys that are really fast, the drivers that are really quick tonight, Joe Hudson, he's fast everywhere he goes. It's being able to string that one complete race together that I think that he has struggled with lately. But sometimes our luck turns around, and you'll have those 4 to 5 weeks where you're just really nailing everything, but you can never count him out of a race.
I definitely agree. Joe's kind of had that unlucky bug where he's been quick, he's been up towards the front, and he just can't put a finish together. And we know he's got the pace to run up front and contend for wins, but fortunately, just hasn't had the the luck or the ability, or whatever you want to call it, to put a race together. Right now, qualifying underway, and currently Brandon Massey, pole sitter, with a 31.36.
Yeah, I think Brandon has shown a lot of speed as well. So that's really impressive for him. Just going to move my ticker over to the position. So, yes, Brandon at a 31.6. Let's see. Uh, Cody right behind him at a 31.389. So really close. Johnny Barker with a top three so far tonight. And then we have Dwayne Simons. We have to make sure that we get his name right all night, Christian, because if we don't, he will remind us in chat that it is not Simmons, it is Simons.
Yes, Simons is the word of the day for the broadcast booth. We gotta keep that, write it down, right on our forehead if we need to remind us that it is not Simmons, it is Simons. But yeah, right now, Joe Hudson taking away your poll,
Joe
with
Hudson.
a
Yep.
31.31. Just a couple hundreds faster than Brandon here, but still a couple drivers out on track. You see John Fowler trying to set his fast lap here.
So do you, Christian, when you're looking at qualifying here, we've got 2 minutes before we get our lineup set, and then we'll go through it. But when you do that, is there a certain time that you qualify, or as soon as qualifying starts, you just jump out there? Does it make a difference?
In my opinion, I don't really think it does make a difference. I mean, I if you for the the aliens and stuff, they could probably feel a little bit of a difference. But for me, as someone who does this as a hobby, not really trying to get every thousandth out of your car, I don't really see a difference. But yeah, usually, I mean, I get out as soon as I feel like I need to get out there. I don't really have a usually set plan, but
Yep.
John Fowler, you pull sitter right now, 31.25. So, I mean, we talked about him in the pre-race. He was talking about he was excited. And I mean, he's shown that speed already.
He really has, and that's good for him. I know that's a big boost of confidence for him. Again, I think if he can get out, maybe stay on that high line, and we haven't talked about that yet, Christian. But if you think about it, if you can hang that high line and you can save tire, that's going to be a tough line to pass on too. If you have to go downstairs to try to pass somebody, either that top line really has to have bad tires, that right front has to be wore out, or they have to make a mistake and maybe touch the wall for you to make that pass clean.
Yeah, well, you can pull the good old fashioned slide job here. I mean, it's happened a lot here at Kansas, but especially in the 3 and 4, I really think you can pull off a slide job. 1 and 2, it's a little bit of a different story because 1 and 2 are just a little bit more tighter of a corner than 3 and 4 is. But yeah, I mean, the top, if you can get it down, you can save tires and you can just be really quick up there. It's really hard, and it's a really good defensive line to run, and it's really hard to get around. You really have to know how to run the bottom if you want to pass someone who's really good at the top. So
It's going to be interesting, but congratulations to Fowler. I think Jordan would be the only one that we have left to qualify, and I'm not sure he's going to put a time in. So for your results here, you've got Fowler, and I'll just do the top 10 here. You got Fowler, Joe Hudson. Brandon Mass is going to start in third. Adam Pettit, our season or our week 1 and 2 winner, is going to start fourth. Cody DeForge is going to be fifth. Cody Riggs in sixth. Johnny Barker is going to be seventh. Dwayne Simons is going to be eighth. Brandon Ish in ninth. Those are teammates there. And then Colin Johnson there in 10th.
Yeah, singing 11th is Josh Isaac Mock. My apologies, with Derek Catt in that 21 and P12. Cliff Adams P13. Joshua King P14. Ron Lousy in that number 5 and P15. Joseph Atchison P16. Michael Wingo P17. Michael James Smith in P18. And Jordan Marion is going to wrap out
Yep.
the field in P19.
Yeah, so if you look at this, it looks like we're going to have 19 strong tonight. That's going to be a really good, solid field for us. Really excited for this. I really am proud of John. I'm happy to see John do this. I know we've got some fast cars. This 49 car is so strong everywhere he goes. Massey again. I really equate Massey and Pettit to the same type of driver. Really patient, under control, tire saving. Really look for him to have a good run here. Obviously, you can never count out this guy sitting in fourth in the 46 machine, but a lot of quick cars up front. Look for some long green flags tonight. I'm excited.
I'm definitely excited. Kansas, I feel like it's one of those mile and a half where you don't really see a lot of wrecks in really any of the series. It's kind of just a driver track, right? I mean,
Right,
I feel like unfortunately, fortunately and unfortunately, that sometimes the field gets spread out here, but it's just because it's such a unique style racetrack to a Chicagoland where you can kind of be multi-group. Really, at Kansas, it's either you're running the bottom or you're running the top. There's really
right.
no in between. It's about who can run it the best, who can save the tires the best. And yeah, I mean that's really all it is to Kansas is just being consistent, being keeping the car underneath you.
Well, that complete graphics 94 car is certainly going to bring them to the green flag tonight. And again, we always have to keep in mind for everyone that is watching that our series here in the Xfinity is going to be straight points. So we do not have a playoff. It is not win and you're in. So you're going to see, if you do see some damaged cars, you will see them go in the pits and try to fix that because every single point, every single lap led is going to be crucial for the rest of this season and winning that points championship for the very first season and series in the Xfinity cars.
That's definitely going to be. You're going to see a bunch of people, like I said, especially with this points per mile. You're going to have to see drivers keep the car clean, be consistent here. But the pace car is going to turn off in the pit road here, and that number 94 machine of John Fowler is going to lead us to green here. We're going to hand the race over to Barney. Geico restart zone, and we're green here at Kansas.
Here we go. Looks like it's a really good start here. Nice even start. We got some 3 wide going already.
You see Joe Hudson already trying to wrap the top there. You're going to see Fowler on the bottom. Joe Hudson's going to clear on the top there, and he's going to take this lead away.
Yeah, I think that's probably a good move by John there. I think he just had. We are still 3 wide back here in the back of the pack as we've got the 19, the 6, and the 12. 3 wide coming out.
You see the 6 and the 19, the 47, all those guys there back there in the pack. Side by side back there for P5.
Cody DeForge has got that preferred line on the top side, especially with the fresh tires. He's going to be able to take that 19 car. He's going to get a great run here coming out of 2. The 47 car is going to push him as the 19 car comes down to block.
Yeah, I mean, with these fresh tires, these nice cold fresh tires, I think the top is probably the faster way to go. But you see Adam right here getting pressure from the 87. Now, Adam in the interview last week talked about he wasn't a big fan of Kansas, and he's just hoping to, come out here with a decent finish here. But up here battling for the P3 spot, I mean, that's not too bad for not liking his home track. So,
Right. and you've got to watch that because Adam will say that, but he will sit back and he will sit back and try to save tires. But I'm telling you, this top line looks like it's going to be the dominant line, especially early on. Very interested to see what tires are going to do. But Massey looks like he's really found a groove up there.
Yeah, Massey's liking the top here, going to follow that 94 John Fowler, but looks like Adams really like that bottom. He's making a move towards that P2 spot.
I haven't been able to see someone. I have not seen someone so far really run that bottom line as strong as I'm seeing Adam run it right now. But it looks like Hudson is going to back up to these guys. We've got a little touch here on the top line as they start battling, but Adam's going for the lead.
Yeah, I think Joe had a little bit of a bad corner there that backed himself up to John Fowler there. Fowler tried to push him through the corner, but you see that number 46, my apologies, side by side for the lead here, coming out of two.
I feel like we've got some guys, I think, in the 94 and the 87 that are really playing this very calm early on. And I think Adam's trying to get that clean air on the nose of that Xfinity 46 car. But Joe's hanging pretty tough here on the outside.
Yeah, clean air is a huge thing here in these Xfinity cars because, besides the next gen, I think the dirty air is probably the worst here in these Xfinity cars with how boaty they are and how aero efficient they are with the clean air. So I definitely think, running the bottom, you're getting that clean air. It's definitely going to turn better running that bottom versus someone who's in that P2 spot. You see, the 24 get a little bit sideways back there. But I definitely think Adam's doing a good job just keeping that car in clean air and trying to give himself just some type of opportunity to get up here and race for this lead.
I agree, and we'll start going through the field here in a second. But we're the battle's here, and we're fixing to be 3 wide here for fourth. As the 19 car is going to shoot under and go 3 wide, Massey's going to just hang it right on the wall. What a great drive by all three of these guys.
You see Massey getting run off the top. You see the 24 is going to tuck back in line there, and you see the 19 is going to continue to, follow that 46 on the bottom. You're going to see Joe run the bottom here, going to take some air off that 46, but put a blinker into this top 5.
That's great, and as you can look, we're going to be 3 wide for the lead right here, coming across the start and finish line. As Fowler now is going to take that high side away from Hudson, and Pettit is going to split Hudson. He's going to go to third, and I believe Fowler's going to take the lead here coming out of 2.
Yeah, Fowler's going to have a great run out here, and he's going to take the race lead away from that 49 machine, and now Pettit back into P2. Joe Hudson all the way back to P4, just in one corner.
Massey's going to try that bottom line. I just don't think that's going to work. I believe Adam has gotten smart to where that fast line is, and he's going to sneak up behind John and probably try to find the line to run in here and save a little tire.
Yeah, I think right now, everybody knows where they kind of need to run, where they want to run. I feel like now it's around this time where you want to start to save tires. So everybody, I feel like, is going to start to migrate either to the top or to the bottom, wherever they need to be. And they're going to want to try to save tires. Massey underneath the 46 here for this P2 spot.
I feel like Adam is certainly on that tire-saving mode, and that's why he's hitting that bottom line. I do think it is hurting him in overall time, but we're going to see here in about 20 laps if if his tire-saving strategy is going to come up, because looks like Massey's going to make that pass here coming out of 2.
Ooh, yeah, the 87 cuts the nose off of the 46 there. He really made that 46 lift, but the 46 has another good run. He's going to try to run the bottom. He's going to try to do one of those, try to run the bottom, trying to stay side by side with that 87. Side by side coming here to the stripe. I think the 87 is going to get a run off the top here. And going to keep that P2 for now.
Yeah, that top line is just ultra dominant right now. As you can see, this 87. Oh, John's in the wall.
Fowler in the wall.
That's going to slow the 87 down, and Adam is going to take that lead and get that clean air on the front of that Xfinity car. That is something that this entire field did not want to see, is that 46 car out in the lead.
Yeah, you're going to see, Pettit for the first time going to rip the wall here, coming out of the turn 3 and 4. Now, Massey's going to clear the 94 barely.
We got 2 in the grass here as the 47 and the 24 find the grass. Both of them are going to merge back safely. Nice job by both the 47 and the 24 there.
And that was Isaac Mock and Cody DeForge making contact there, and they kind of spun each other down the track there. Looks like the 24 making a contact, and then unfortunately just getting them both in the grass. But uh, good for them to keep the cars down there, merge safely, and that. But unfortunately, huge loss of track position for those two.
And now, if you're Pettit, what are you thinking here, Christian? You have found that this high line is the dominant line. I think we knew that going in with with the conversations that we had. I believe he is up there. He is trying to save tire. Are you now focused on soft entry, letting this car roll, saving that right front tire? What are you thinking now as you get a little pressure from Massey?
Yeah, I definitely think. I mean, you still have to push to try to keep this leader because clean air is everything here. You saw that in the Cup race here, back in the spring here. Me and you were I think at P2 and P3, and that dirty air really prevented us from making a move. I think it was on Christopher DeWald there. So that the dirty air is insane here, especially at a track like this. So you definitely have to still push to keep the car out in front, but you still also are gonna try to save your stuff here.
I think Massey's on a mission tonight. I'll tell you, I've seen him be aggressive, find the spots that he needs to find, and I think he's trying to come up here and he wants to challenge Adam for this lead and for the dominance of this series. And he's been strong the first 2 weeks, and we're seeing more of this today. So I'm interested to see how that's going to shape out. But it looks like they have about a 6/10 lead here on Fowler, who's kind of dropping back a little bit. And I'm not sure if Hudson is saving the tires, our pole sitter, or our outside pole sitter, but looks like both these guys might be saving tires.
Yeah, I definitely think they're pacing themselves a little bit easier than these two are. I think you know Adams kind of been forced to push a little bit harder than he wants to. I mean, he's really up there on the wall because of the pressure from the 87 here. The 87's trying to get underneath him here. I think he might have him here. He's going to run the bottom. See if he
Is
can
he
pull
going to do a
over.
slide job? I don't think so.
See, not clear, but and
Little
because
early.
I think he tried to pull one and just did not do it right, and you saw him. He's going to lose about 5-6 car lengths to race leader here.
Yeah, he's going to cut that distance that John had at about half. Backing off of that. But that's what that top line gives you. It gives you such a nice run off, even if your tires start to wear down a little bit. And I do think that exiting four and exiting two underneath of a car is really making these drivers turn that wheel hard to the left. And I think it's burning just as much tire as this top line might be on this. So very interested to see how this goes on. But Christian, let's start taking a little walk through the field here and see some of these other battles. Looks like John and Joe Hudson are going to start fighting here very, very soon for the third position.
Yeah, John has consistently kind of stayed about what 6, 7 tenths away from the race leaders here, and Joe is starting to put the pressure on him a little bit. I think these two have done a pretty decent job saving their stuff here. But yeah, potentially a battle for P3 coming up here. I think the next closest battle is for that P9 spot. Colin Johnston and Joshua King going at it right there for that P9 spot.
Let's go right back. It looks like we have a three-car battle as the 47 car of Isaac Mock has recovered from that earlier run into the grass, and he's going to join this battle between the 13 and the 17 as well. So really a lot of good runs out of these guys too. 17 is going to come up. They're going to have to start using this slide job here, Christian, and stop being a little bit nice if they're going to get these passes done. We're going to go three wide.
Yeah, you see the 47 using the apron, going to go through wide here. Shallow entry. Ooh, a little bit of contact with the 17. Can he make that bottom work? I think he just did, and he's going to do a 2-for-1 move coming out of two.
Wow, way to go. And I do think that is a really a testament to the drivers in this league, Christian. That's a tough spot for all three of those drivers to be in, and I thought that they handled themselves very well. Let's take a little step back here as we've got Johnny Barker, and we know this guy, right? We know this six driver. We know Johnny Barker. This guy's fast. We're not really sure what his thought process is here, but I can tell you, look for this six driver at the end of this race.
Yeah, looks like he's got a little bit of right front damage, so maybe got caught up in an incident earlier in the race and lost all that track position. But we know Johnny's very quick, pretty good at saving tires as well, at least in the Cup car here. Um, so I mean, yeah, definitely going to be a contender if he can keep that car clean. It looks like I said before earlier, is with that damage on the right front. I don't know if that's affecting the way the car's handling, but right now, mired back in 13th.
Derek Cat here is going to start pressuring Barker. And I'll tell you, Christian, I like these cars. You know, I like these multicolored dirt track style cars with the crazy numbers. I really like this car, but also like the way that Derek drives too. I've been watching him for the past couple of weeks. Very clean, very methodical. Really like what I'm seeing out of Derek.
And Derek, kind of a very patient driver. I feel like he's one of the more patient guys out there, who's gonna kind of size up his competition and just, figure out a way to get around him. Then he'll just do it, right? Look at them trying to make the outside work on the six car. Kind of shallow entry there, so Johnny's actually going to get a little bit of a better exit. But yeah, I definitely agree. They're kind of a more methodical driver. He'll see the car in front of him. He'll try to find a way around, and then he'll just when he feels like it's time to do it, without using his equipment up, he'll do it. So Derek right now with sitting in P14. I mean, still a long race to go, but I mean definitely look for him to make up a couple more spots.
Oh, five car in the wall here, and you can see that right front damage on that five dude wipes machine, and that's Ron. And Ron has really been working hard this year. He is in our Cup Series as well, putting in a lot of practice, a lot of lap times, and it shows. And it shows in his progression and his growth throughout this series and this season. So he's doing great. You've got DeForge and Jordan that's going to battle here over 16. So DeForge and Cody really not the recovery that you've seen the 47 car after hitting the grass. So I'm not sure if maybe he damaged his tires a little bit more that 47.
And you have to think that maybe he got a little bit more. He got the worst end of that deal with the 47 him getting together, with how he's still mired back here in 16th. 10 seconds off the leader. So looks like the car's not tore up too much, but maybe those tires are just way worn out.
Yeah, I can't see a whole lot of damage there. He might just be biding his time, but I'll tell you, these Xfinity races have had the propensity to go long, and if that's the case, he's going to have 10 seconds to catch up. That might be a little bit tougher. And here's Michael Wingo, another different paint scheme. It seems like he changes his paint scheme every week, but another driver that I would think really came into SSR, really green. And really off pace. I think now, as you look at him now, really able to keep up with the back of the pack at this point, and getting a whole lot better. And I look to see a lot of great things out of him very soon.
Yeah, remember you have to think about he got the sim a couple months ago, so very very brand new to the sim and just racing in general. So I mean, just it's a testament that he's even out here, racing with us in general. I mean, see him getting to the wall there a little bit, but I mean, when I first started iRacing, leagues was the last thing I had on my mind. I wanted to worry about, learning how to drive the car, yet less, race with a bunch of people and, get to make connections and stuff. I was just trying to learn how to drive the car, yet less, race competitively with people. So it's really a testament to see Michael out here even racing with us here in SSR.
Yeah, and I think he will figure it out, and you're so right. I think when I first started racing too, that was one of the things that I always worried about was, let me get out of the way, let me not create an issue for the leaders or anyone else, and let me figure out how to race it. But I think Michael will do like the rest of us do, Christian, and there will come a time where that thing will all click, and once it clicks for him, I think you'll see something. But I wanted to go back up here because it looks like this battle for the lead starting to heat up.
Yeah, I mean, Brandon still has not, you know, let this 46 get away here. Still following in the tire tracks of that 46. And, both of them have decided this outside is the lane to be, as we kind of thought it would. But I have not been able to pull away. We know he's really good at pacing himself here and, making sure he's running the laps he feels like he needs to run to be in contention to win this race, but Massey putting the pressure on.
Oh, we've got somebody going down the pit road here.
Looks like the 21 of the Cat.
Yeah, got a
We're
little
not.
right side damage there. He must have hit that wall pretty hard because he's looks like he's going to take his car over here to pit lane and see if he gets some repairs done.
Listen on the comms, he said he thinks that machine blew right front. So maybe just damage, got a little bit of a tire rub, and said that it felt like something was wrong with that car. So he's gonna come down, take some tires, and he's definitely gonna be a lap down here. But I mean, he will have 30 lap fresher tires. You see the 88 down pit road as well. Joseph Atchison down pit road.
So, do you feel like, as we just look at this and we see who's down pit road, do you think that that this is a bad strategy though? I mean, if they get a little bit, so the 88 is going to go ahead and leave, and obviously we know Derek's going to get some extended damage repaired on that car, but he still might be in this window. This 88 car. Might be in this window to stop one more additional time over what these leaders are going to do, but those lap times do fall off pretty good at this track.
Yeah, I mean, and knowing what I know, I don't know how much fuel these drivers have in their cars percentage wise, but I know doing like B fix and stuff, you can usually go about 40, 45 laps in these Xfinity cars. So there's definitely a little bit of an undercut, about a 10 lap undercut. But I mean, we're getting around that time. We're starting to see the timers start to go for some of these drivers for them to start to thinking about coming down pit road as well.
I really think you do. I think if you're looking at 130, you have to be looking at 43, 44 laps. I think that has to be the goal for you, and I think that everybody's just trying to fill it out, see where they're going to be. I do want to kind of go back here because it looks like Hudson has gotten around Fowler for third. He's not that far ahead. Fowler's about 7/10 back, but if you look, this battle here, Cody Riggs is coming and is catching Fowler. This won't be long before you're going to see a battle here for the fourth position.
Yeah, we heard Cody on when he was on the podcast talk about he prides himself on that long run pace. Attesting it to, Adam. Adam and Cody very good friends off the track and stuff. And Adam kind of showed Cody, how he races, and Cody's kind of picked up on some of those tendencies. And he talked about how he likes to set up his car for the long run. So you've seen him already start to run down this 94, and as we say that, the 47 starting to run out down this 12 car as well.
I mean, don't look now, Christian, but this 47 car is fixing to bounce back and is looking hot for the top five here. And if he can grab this spot before they go into the pit stops, I think you have to count that as a big win for the 47 car. Considering what happened with him in the 24 earlier in the race.
I mean, he's already gained back. He's only 5 seconds behind your race leader, so now 6. But I mean, huge comeback for this 47. I mean that just shows what kind of pace Isaac has in this machine, and how well he knows this track. I mean, one of the more unique mile and a half we talked about in the pre-race, and definitely he's put in his homework trying to get better.
I'm going to be interested to see really how he can come along. I do think it will not be long before we have a four-car battle here for third, because I think that John has started to migrate back down to the bottom. It looks like he's really driving it hard into entry, and that could be because he was getting a little loose. But that entry is really helping him, it looks like, eat into that Hudson lead in front of him.
Yeah, John starting to run the bottom. You see Joe with a little bit of right side damage, so he's definitely gone at the wall at least once or twice there. So maybe the car is starting to get away from him a little bit, but see Hudson, Fowler, Riggs, and Mock all under a blanket here. Yeah, and potentially a four-car battle for the is a huge slide
Joe
from the
is
49.
loose.
Just mentioning this now, I don't know if we have some technical difficulties, but sorry, but ticker's not up on the broadcast right now, but we will be getting that fixed hopefully sooner or later.
All right, let's try try that ticker now. We might just switch that over, Christian, and we'll just let me just see real quick. We'll just go to a different version here in OBS if that ticker's not working. Give me just 1 second, everyone. We'll get this thing fixed.
Well, as John's working on theirs, we see the ticker there. Battle for P4 here. Cody Riggs. It just kind of around the 94 of John Fowler. And Riggs really wrapping the wall here, doing a good job. You know, we saw John starting to wrap the bottom here, and I think, you know, it's starting to affect the way that car's handling. So 12 gets around the 94 and the 47 pressuring that 94 for now. That for that fifth spot now.
And you can really tell, that earlier with Riggs, like you said. I mean, he's really working on that long run speed, and I think you're going to see a battle here for fifth as that 47 car starting to creep in here on John as well.
Now the 47 is one of the only cars I've seen really run the bottom and make it work like really well here. So I don't know what Isaac has uh, found on that bottom, but he's really putting down some pretty good laps here. You know, in traffic, he's only 2/10 off your race leader. So
Yeah, it's really good lap times, and I think when you look at what he, like I said, what he's able to overcome by running through that grass. Interested to see what he can do when we put some fresh tires on. We have to start getting in that window. I couldn't imagine a couple of more laps. It looks like we might have somebody else going into the pits now. Oh, we've got one spinning.
that's a 19.
A
No, Brandon
Brandon
Ish.
Ish spinning on entry. Looks like everything is okay here. Hopefully he did not get a black flag on entry. We do apologize about that ticker, but it looks like we do have that going now. Let's look and see our cars that are on the pit road. So we do have Isaac on pit road, Dwayne Simons is on pit road, Brandon Ish on pit road, and then we've got Michael Wingo that is on pit road.
Yeah, it looks like all of our Team Watson cars, besides that 13, decided to come down pit road right there. But right there, that's your first. That's your first kind of call outs of drivers that are coming down, thinking those good tires. You know, we thought about 40, 45, 50 is around the time you want to be. We hear
Yeah.
the 4 car of Jordan coming down pit road this lap.
Yeah, it looks like he has just come back out. We've got Colin Johnston coming down as well. So when are these leaders going to come in? Now, if you're looking at um, Brandon and Adam, they're about 4/10 apart from each other. They've got about a 5-second lead, 5.5-second lead over the third place. So it's really a battle between these two and who can get in and off of pit road the fastest.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think these two have shown that they're the fastest cars right at least right now. But I definitely think they can afford to stay out a little bit longer, right? They had the 3-4 second gap that they can kind of afford to give up and then pit later and then kind of be even if they're even coming out of the pits, they have those fresher, goodier tires to pull away from the guys who tried to undercut them. So I think these guys will at least. I think Adam's always been a guy who's tried to overcut as much as he can. At least from my experience racing with them, I've raced with Adam for several years now, not only in SSR but several other leagues. So he's always been someone who's been a little bit different with the strategies and stuff, trying to give himself the best opportunity. So as I say that, Adam going on the radio saying that he'll be pitting this time. We'll see if the 87 comes with him.
If you're the 87, do you go into here? You have to, right? Oh, he's
And
going
here
to
he
try to
comes. He's
beat
gonna
him down
come.
pit road. Here they come here. All right, both get in nice and clean. That is going to turn the race lead over
To Joe.
to Joe. Joe is going to stay out. He's going to stay up on that top line and let some of these guys with fresh tires come around. But Joe's going to stay out and try to run this long, I do believe. I'm not sure what the strategy is here, Christian. I'm not sure. Oh,
Oh,
five car is going to swing back up the track right in front of our leader here, but not certain of the strategy or where the fuel calculations are coming in from Joe. I believe I would just go in and not try to lose that additional time as you see Adam and the 87 car are going to come off together.
yeah. What I'm thinking, what Joe's thinking he's trying to do now is, I guarantee you're just gonna run it out right now. I mean, he has the top, everybody but the top four a lap down right here. So, um, I think he will probably just run it out. Hope for a caution, because if he does get a caution, he's got the everybody fifth
That's a
on
good point.
down lapped. So, I think right now, I mean, Joe's kind of laid his bet. He's gonna have to sit in it and lay in it. So, uh, I think he'll just probably run it out as long as he can. As long as he doesn't, hit the wall, get any more damage. I feel like that's probably what he's gonna try to do. Probably what Coleman's gonna do. Probably what Josh is gonna do. And then Adam's the first car. Um,
Here he comes.
yeah, here comes Joe.
So the idea is at 50. I do think that that's going to leave. Once this obviously bounces back around, you're going to see these two, 46 and the 87. Now, if you're the 87 here, Christian, do you try to go a little bit harder earlier in this run and try to go ahead and get that clean air on your nose and make Adam chase the Rapid, or are you just going to sit back and try to save your time?
Yeah, I think if it were me, I'd definitely try to, if I even if I need to use a little bit more tire up, get out ahead, because like we talked about, it's so hard to pass here with how dominant the top is. And then you even see that the only reason why Adam was using the bottom at the start of the race was because, Fowler and Hudson and Massey were using the top. He didn't have anywhere else to go. So if Massey can, use a little bit more stuff, use a little bit more equipment to get around, and just kind of park his nose up there, I mean, it's definitely going to be a little bit harder for Adam to get around them.
I definitely agree. I think that is going to be your battle for the lead. But right now, Colin Johnson still out on the track, still has not went into the pits. We might see him go in here this lap, as it looks like he is slowing down and allowing the 5 to go by. No, he is going to turn another lap here.
Yeah, I mean, he looks slow, and that's only because he's got 50, 52 laps on those tires. And I mean, these are guys with freshies on. You're gonna see him getting to the wall here. I mean, that car is definitely screaming, "I need tires now." So I can't imagine him staying out in it much longer.
Yeah, it does not look like there is a right front left on that 13 machine. But again, it's interesting to see these different strategies. Now, you're certainly going to see some of these guys. He's going to go around for another lap here. You're going to see some of these guys certainly be faster as these times switch and they're on fresh tires and you have a little bit more wear on the others. But I just think your time lost here is probably not the best bet. You want to pit with that leader if you're that far back, or you want to try to undercut him a little.
Yeah, exactly. I definitely agree. I mean, he still has to pit, and how old these tires are. I mean, the leader of Pettit, actually, Brandon Massey is trying to get around Pettit as we talk right here. Battle for the provisional lead, but they're only 12 seconds behind your race leader here. So as soon as he pits, he's most likely going a lap down. So
But yeah,
Massey underneath the 46 here. Is he going to get clear here? Not quite. But he will leave. He will take the spot there at the line here.
they are side by side, and they're going to stay side by side. Massey's going to get a little tight. It's going to allow that run by Adam here on the high side. But I think Massey's going for it. I think he wants that clean air. He needs that
There's
clean
a
air.
lap car coming. Lap car. Is he going to try to use?
Oh, he
He,
used him as
he
a
used
pick.
him as a pick. He used him as a pick.
Wow, fantastic move by Massey. Great job by Adam to let off there. He certainly did not, but I think Adam saved both of their cars. Right there, as that 88 car was just a sitting duck, and that's what Massey needed to be able to get out in front of Adam. Now let's see what's going to happen to Massey as he's got that clean air, but we still have Colin out on the track, is he going to make this 65 laps?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't even think about this. He might be fuel saving. That's why he's so slow. I mean, we can maybe go in into his cockpit and see if he's trying to clutch or something. Because I mean, I guess if you fuel saving enough, you might be able to make it in a one stop race here.
He is certainly way off of the throttle. I don't hear him clutching. I don't know how much fuel he could possibly have at this point. But if he does make this 65 laps, this changes everything, Christian.
I definitely agree. I mean, he might lose the lead here, but he has one fewer pit stop if he does this. So if he can make it to 65 and keep the lead, I mean, it's going to be, and he can replicate what he's doing right now. I mean, it's going to be an interesting. As we hear 13 pinning in now, he's going to be coming down pit road right now.
And here he comes down pit road. A little bit of right side damage there, so he cannot make that 65 laps. He will have to come in for maybe a splash and go. But if he comes out and he is a lot quicker, I think you're going to see this gentleman really. This could throw a little wrench into everything, and it looks like Massey has got out in front of Adam by about 7/10, and he's looking to take off here. He's gonna inherit the lead.
Yeah, I mean, go fighting through these lap traffic right here, and I think Massey, you know, had a little bit of trouble. Those lap cars side by side here. You're going to see Adam look on the outside of Cody DeForge here. Cody, give him the room. Looks like he will. You're going to see that 0-1 going to come up and probably cut his nose off right here, and he will. See
That's
the
gonna really
46.
slow him down.
Yeah.
Looks like we have picked up the temperature just a little bit here, Christian. So I would assume once we've laid a little bit of rubber, temperatures come up on that track just a little bit. You're going to see these cars start to move around a little bit more than what they had before. But I've got to think that that's actually going to make this top line even stronger as you build rubber down at the bottom. It'll be a little bit slicker in the apex and on exit, and that top line is really going to be even stronger here.
The lap is going to give him the bottom here. I mean, that's the lane that Massey wanted, but that's what he's going to get here. See the 46 getting on him, no problem as well.
So we're
And the next car back is Fowler. He's 7 seconds behind your race leaders here, but he's getting pressure from the 47 and the 12.
Yeah, this is a good race right here. Really good run by all three of these drivers. Really impressed by the Isaacs recovery. Cody Riggs, this is his best run by far so far this season. He's going to have a great run here on the top side to get by the 47.
Yeah, he's really made that wall really work well for him here. I don't think he's really deviated from that wall there, and I think he's the only car that has ran the wall that doesn't really have any damage on that right side. So definitely doing a great job. I mean, Kansas is also his home track as well, so I guarantee you he's put a heck of a lot of laps lane like as well as I have. So so I mean, definitely a strong track for Cody here. And as we see him get around to 47, he's going to try to chase down this 94, John Fowler.
Yeah, I'll tell you, John's had a quiet race, and sometimes those are the best races, right? So nice quiet race, find my spot to run, pick my spots to pass, and turn some laps. So he's had a great race so far. I do think that Cody is going to he's turning a little bit quicker laps. He's about a tenth a lap faster than what John is right now. So I think you're going to see a battle here really quickly for the third position. But let's go on back through the field and feel like Dwayne has had a really good run tonight. Again, a nice quiet run. No craziness, no drama, just turning laps.
Yeah, I mean, he's got a clean car, and that's what you're asking for. I mean, that 25 machine, I mean, looks like it's driving pretty good for him. So, um, but yeah, I mean, Dwayne having a good race. You see, Johnny Barker has fought his way back into the top 10. He saw he had some of that damage, but starting to make his way up to the field here. Running comparable laps here to some of the guys up in front. So But yeah, Johnny's slowly but surely, making his way through the field.
Let's take a ride on board with Johnny. Let's just see, really taking it nice and easy on the entry, not really overdriving the apex and then powering off. So he is obviously in tire saving mode here. He does that little double tap of the throttle on entry, which is it's odd, but I understand why he's doing it. I believe he's trying to get the car turned a little bit, and I think that little double tap's trying to help him. But yeah, he's got a great run going.
No, he definitely does, and Johnny's. I feel like from the experience I've had with him, he's always been good at like maintaining his car all the time. Even with some damage, he's always been good at maintaining his machine and making sure everything just goes the way he needs it to. So you see him catch the 88 here, that lap car of the 88, but gonna get around him clean and green, and he's slowly chewing into that full car of Jordan Marion.
Yeah, Jordan with kind of the nondescript scheme tonight with the white car. I never hate those. I like nice, clean cars. Just stick my number on it and go run, and that's what Jordan's done. And he's ran that car right up into the top 10. A little bit of right side damage on that car.
Yeah, I mean no sponsors on that Ford car, so anybody in the chat, want to sponsor Jordan here in this Xfinity series? He's looking for sponsors, make that car a little bit more stand out a little bit more. But yeah, doing a great job in ninth place. You know, been having a quiet race right now, but starting to catch that 19 right here for that eighth spot.
Yeah, Brandon, Team Watson, another Team Watson driver, doing a fantastic job tonight. Really nice job. I mean, honestly, Christian, by all of these drivers, I mean, you're looking at 69 laps, caution free here, 19 cars start this thing. And I believe you've got Derek that has that damage. He succumbed to that damage. I think he's going to be out and retired that car. But 18 drivers on the track right now. You can't beat this. Green and green so far for this race.
Yep. I mean, it's always good to see here, to see that we have the drivers that are racing well around each other. They're racing hard, but they're also racing really clean here. So it's good to see there. You see the 98 of Cliff Adams sitting up there in that P7 spot. Also, very quiet run for him. Really haven't talked about him a whole lot, but that's not always a bad thing, right? That car looks very clean. No right side damage, no nothing. Just sitting in there in P7, having a good solid run for himself.
Yeah, you take care of your car because even though you think, right now I'm sitting back, I'm 20 seconds back, that doesn't mean anything because I can tell you at any time that caution flag comes out in my clean car, I've got a chance to win this race. So, again, like you said, I don't see any damage on that car, just a fantastic job by him. So as we go back behind Barker, actually, let's go back because we missed Mr. King here. Very similar paint job, that Derek Cat paint job. Looks like the very, it might be, let me see if I can find Derek. No, I cannot find Derek. But very similar paint scheme there to Derek's car. So Royalty Motorsports, I think they might be on the same team. But great run by him too here. He just passed going to 10.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of drivers this race, just having a quiet run and sitting in the top 10, top 15 right here. Just having a good run here, and once again, no damage on that 17, and having a good race for himself.
Yeah, it's great. So let's just continue to go back. We saw Cody in that early as the 13 of Colin Johnston. Now, Colin was the one that stayed out so long on that first drive. Does not look like he got a whole lot of that damage fixed on that car. So if we look, if he pit, I think he went in. Did he go in at 55? So if we look at that, we're 110. Look at him at 110 here, coming back in. But Cody, nice clean car. Had that little accident first where he ran down in the grass, but car looks great.
Yeah, car looks pretty clean, pretty solid underneath him. Right now, just needs to now currently a lap down. So actually battling. It looks like Johnny for the lead for the free pass. I think Johnny got lapped. We missed that, but race leader. I mean, that's just showing the pace that these race leaders have, lapping all the way up to P11 now.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, don't look now as we go back up front, but Brandon Matson has stretched his lead out to 3.1 seconds. So he has found something on this track as you see him stay on that high line. It looked like he was quick behind Adam on that first stint, and he's stretching out this second stint here. He is on a mission tonight.
Yeah, we saw it. I mean, looking back at Adam, he just got on the ball here, so he's going to give up another half a second here. But I mean, Adam talked about it in the last week in the interview, and Kansas not a track he was looking forward to. So when you have someone like Brandon who really excels at these style of tracks, I mean, he's going to be a tough guy to beat here.
Just want to take a look here and see. So Christian, as we just talked to this from a driver's point of view, it looks like this car, he's really lost that right front. So as he goes into that turn, with that little bit later turn, he's really not making that turn down until that white hash mark, until he beats that white hash mark. And I think for Adam, best bet is see if I can turn left and get down in front of that white hash mark and let that car carry up, because I'm pushing so bad here at the entry to one, just like he does there.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely kind of see him trying to float the car up as much as he can without hitting the wall before he really gets back into the gas. I feel like that's just where he's losing most of his time. Is just he can't really just go up there and make it stick like Brandon is, and he's starting to slowly fall behind. Brandon last lap ran a 33.2 versus Adams. Okay, 33.2. Once again, I mean, they always prove us wrong when we're trying to talk about it. But just the last lap I was trying to look at it, he was about 2 or 3 tenths off. But it's like Adam's starting to find maybe a lane that he likes and at least running equal times with our race leader.
Well, it looks like you could tell he's getting some grip right here in the apex of the turn. You can see that car start to come down. And he just kind of drives it off. Car is pushing a little bit in the apex of 3 and 4. But if you watch Adam's steering wheel, and if anybody there is watching, you really want to see a master class on how to handle your car. If you look at that yellow line that's around that steering wheel, that tells you really how hard somebody's cranking that steering wheel over. And you can see, I bet Adam's not moving that steering wheel 10%. So he's kind of waiting on that car. And this is how you save tires here, is really to turn that wheel as least as possible. And you can hear the scrubbing of the tires there as that thing hooks on that right rear and just kind of goes right around that turn.
Yeah, Adam's always been someone I've noticed that he's very smooth with the wheel. For me, I'm always someone who saws on the wheels. You see, ooh, he's going to get into the wall there. I'm always someone who finds the car's grip by sawing on the wheel and trying to really feel like what the tires are, how they're engaging with the track. And unfortunately, sometimes that burns up the tires more. So someone like Adam, who's someone who's really smooth on the wheel, you see him, he doesn't really move it back and forth that often. Maybe just a little tiny bit to feel the track out. But you see him not really seesawing on that wheel.
No, I agree, and you've got to be careful, especially when you're counter steering. So he's going to try something different. And see, this is an intelligent move by Adam as well. So you go up, and you don't have the right front to really hang on that wall. You put it in the wall, going in the entry of one, the lap before, and now I'm going to look at kind of running a different line. But you can watch him out of 4 here, and you can see him try to dive in this turn now. See how he's counter steering. He's kind of turning that wheel back to the right. That is a loose car that he's dealing with right now. But let's go on board with Adam, and let's see where he's at. So you can see Brandon, I'm sorry, you can see Brandon immediately. He's a little bit more over on that wheel, but see how he's not counter steering that wheel to the right on exit. That car is nice and tight, and he's really managed his tires well. Here, really playing with that throttle. But see how he doesn't really need to steer that car back to the right. It's just hooked and on a rail.
We also see Brandon's not really ripping the wall as much as Adam was, right? Adam was really up against the wall here versus Brandon, who is giving himself about a half a car length gap to the wall here. And I feel like that's also what's also helping save the tires. Because if you're up, I mean, you think about it, when you're ripping the wall, that's the longest way around the track. And if you can undercut it, just by, a percentage of a mile, right? I mean, you're not, going as long around the track. So You notice that he's not really up against the wall like some of the other drivers are.
Yeah, I feel like Brandon's doing a really great job getting into the turn and being patient here. And we don't have his telemetry obviously, but if we see this, I guarantee you he's going to be in the apex of that turn a little bit less on the throttle than, for instance, like what Adam is. And Adam really driving that car hard in the apex of the turn is what's making him loose off. I think Brandon's kind of relaxed on that throttle. As you can see him kind of drive a little bit of counter steer on the way out. But normally he's not doing that, which means he's kind of taking it really easy in the apex of that turn. And I think lap after lap, that really makes a huge difference. We're going to
Yeah, he's
continue to
doing
run
it.
through the field here, Christian. We're going to look at this number 4 car, or this fourth place car in the 12 of Cody Riggs here.
And Cody's slowly reeling in your 47 car. The 47, I feel like has been quick on the short run, but the 12 car has been phenomenal on the long run. I mean, he's done probably the best job besides the leaders, really saving his stuff and being there at the end there. Once again, very clean car, hasn't gone to the wall yet, and he's been really dedicated to just wrapping the wall here all race. So, and you're gonna see him; he's very rapidly catching this 47.
He really is catching the 47 in a big, big way now. And what's crazy, Christian, when you look at this, um, you know, in iRacing, and if you run iRacing, wrap to bottom, wrap to bottom, wrap to bottom. I think Kansas is really that telltale track of you don't have to do that. And he's going to shoot the bottom here and try to get around the 47. I don't think that's going to work. I just don't think that low line is where it's at anymore.
Yeah, I don't really think that was the best move to make there, but I mean, you could if he would have tried to do like a slider, I think he could have made it happen there. But he kind of really took a um, shallow approach there, and it just allowed the 47 to get a good run off the corner here. But he's gonna be right back on the back end here, coming out at two with a great run.
Wow, he's getting a great. His run on 1 and 2 is just he's just hooked up in 1 and 2. He's got that turn figured out, and he's going to get a great run right here. The 47, I think, is going to give him the top and let him take that third position.
Yeah, I think Isaac knows that he just doesn't have the car right now, and he's not gonna really try to hold up this 12 car as much as you think he would, the fans would at home. And here it comes around the top. Great run off the corner. He's gonna take this P3.
Yeah, he's really smooth. Um, the car looks good. The car looks clean. Looks like he is just in a rhythm. And that's really what you can hope for at a mile and a half, right? Is on these turns, just get yourself in a rhythm, get that car where it's comfortable, where you're not having to fight. As I say that, he gets in the wall and he's going to wrinkle that right front.
And I think that's the first time we've seen a mistake out of that 12 car. But I was gonna note it. I was gonna mention that he's running comparable lap times as the race leader. He just ran a 32.2. Your leader just ran a 33.4. So, and then you see, did you see the 47 coming down pit road?
I see
But
that.
and you see Pettit, he's running 31.7. So, um,
This is our
uh,
first taker. Now, Christian, we only have 40 laps left. This is not a bad move by this 47 car at all.
no, he's definitely undercutting by a long shot here. But I mean, he can make it on field once he comes out. So definitely something he's got to try to do. The only thing I'm a little worried about him is he has had a good short run car and has really fell off at the long run. He's gonna have to run the longest out of these front runners. So
Dwayne
interested to see
Simons is in.
yeah, I'm interested to see what he can do. You see Pettit coming down pit road.
Pettit is coming down pit road, so he's going to try to undercut Massey. Massey is out here on the track. Now, Massey's best bet is to take this because I believe that you see that fourth place, the 47 car, has really started this early pit entry. I think Massey has to come in, and he's got to come in now. You cannot be behind that 46 car and have to battle him for the lead. You need to come in and try to retain that lead.
Yeah. I think he can afford to run a couple more laps. Remember, he got a 4-second lap, 4-second gap to that 46 car. So I feel like he can afford to run a couple more laps and be fine. And so he can have a couple lap pressure tires, but I definitely think he can run more than about 5 or so laps.
Yeah.
and be comfortable out there. So
As it stands right now, it looks like it is going to be Massey and Fowler are going to be your only two on the lead lap right now until this pit cycle goes back around. So everybody else with their fingers crossed, hoping that a caution does not come out.
here
And
comes
I
Fowler
hear
down
a
pit road.
caution. I hear a caution.
Caution.
Isaac Mock has now, and fellas, unfortunately, we are going to have to back this one up the hard way. But let's take a look here and see. We're going underneath of Joe Hudson. Oh, and he just overdrives the entry, trying to get underneath of that 49 car.
Well, I think Joe was trying to pit here,
That is quite possible. Wow,
and he
that
didn't. Listening to the driver comms, I did not hear Joe call it out, and I really don't have an idea of what was happening here.
that is a
You know,
major, major damage.
you see Joe kind of give him the bottom, and then just kind of cut down on him. I'm not sure what Joe thought was going to happen there, but yeah, race ending damage for that 47 car.
Yeah, that is a little odd from this 49 car. Certainly looks like he kind of just turns that car hard left there. I'm not really sure where.
Good up.
Looks like Fowler makes a move not to go down pit road here as you see him up ahead, not to take away from the wreck, but you see Fowler here going in the pit road, sees the caution and comes right back out. Nice move by him. Now let's see where this is going to leave everyone here as Brandon obviously is going to come down pit road. Very, very interesting there. We'll have to go back and take a look at that a little bit later, but this is going to toss things up. You've got 35 laps left, first caution of the night, and this is going to bunch a lot of cars back up.
Yeah, listening to the driver comms, he said that Joe said he was looking at his relatives and tried to give the 47 the outside, just a miscommunication between the two drivers. So
Christian,
um,
do you want to call up that 87 driver and let's see what is in his mind before this green flag?
let's see if we can find him. Here he is, right here. Let's get him in here. Hey, Brandon, it's Christian and John up here in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, what's going on, guys?
Well, I mean, you're out here leading the race. You had a pretty good lead on that number 46 machine before that green flag pit stops, but no, caution came out during green flag pit stop. Just walk us through, the race, and walk us through what you're expecting for these last 35 laps.
Yeah, I mean, just we just got to put our head down and go back to work and see if we can't get this '87 JB's Print Shop Bohica Esports Chevrolet in the victory lane.
And so, Brandon, I noticed really, this is highline dominant. Look like even on that first run, I think you had a good size on that 46 car. I think you knew you were a little bit quicker. You might have been sitting back there waiting, and then once you got that lead, looks like you really started taking off, man. So, is the highline just so dominant? That's where you're going to stick these last few laps.
Yeah, I mean, if I can get up there and make it work, yeah, obviously, yeah, I was just being a little bit patient. That first run, I kind of figured if I could get by him, that I could probably build the lead. But yeah, I want to see if I can't get back to the top here and see what happens. Yeah, I'm in control of the restart, so if I can clear him, I'm gonna try to get up there and see if I can't bring this thing home.
All right, well, Brandon, we certainly thank you, man. We'll get you back down to your team. Just great race, man. Great race so far, and good luck for the rest of it.
Appreciate you guys.
I think he's the car to beat, Christian. I really do. I feel like Fowler has really uh, been the great winner here, finishing in being in second position here as that caution come out. But this is going to be a shootout here, I believe, toward the end.
Yeah, I mean, we're coming, let's off on the pace car, so we're gonna have a little, 33 lap shootout here. So definitely some tire is gonna be in effect, but also, you know, these guys are gonna have to go for it here.
I agree. And like Brandon said, he is going to be in the lead, and he has picked the outside line. And there he goes. He's got a great jump off of Fowler here. We had some cars coming back around. Uh, yeah, he's going to get a great lead. I mean, just look at this on this top side. Just so strong right out of the gate. As Joe Hudson is going to shoot right through 3 wide through the 88 car, and Barker is going to go down to the bottom and put that 88 car 3 wide as well.
Yeah, I mean, this is a huge, weird mix-up because, I mean, Adam Pettit in fourth place is back here in the back right here. I mean, he's all the way mired back here with all the cars back here. And then even you think Joshua King back here, the only two people that are racing up here really towards the front of the pack with Fowler and Massey. I mean, Joshua King and Adam Pettit, both of them. And Cody Riggs all here in the back of the field having to race their way up through here.
Yeah, this is going to be an absolute mess because they had to take that wave around, and yeah, so they are going to have to battle through this. And if you let this 87 car take a lead that big, I'm just not sure you're going to be able to overcome it if this thing goes green from start to finish here.
Yeah, I mean, those guys really do need a caution to put themselves back on the ball here. And not only that, they need a caution with them not being involved in it, right? They have to race pretty hard to even get up to them. Not only that, they have to do that and still try to maintain some type of tire life to get up to this 87 once they get through this field. And with that all that stress and pressure underneath them, I don't really know if that's a thing you can do here with 30 laps to go here.
No, I completely agree. And if you're Pettit, you're this 46 car. This is really just pushing everything you can do here. It doesn't really matter. You got 2 wins in the bank. You're just going to try to get back up to this 87 car. But just like you said, I mean, you start that far back, and then you have to make these passes. You've got to make these passes on the bottom side of the track, which is where you don't want to be. That's going to eat those tires up. But you look at, I mean, Adam is right now, he's in third. But you look, he's 4.5 seconds back behind this 87 car.
Yeah, I mean, he's just trying to get through this lap traffic as fast as he can. You see Ron getting to the wall there trying to give him the spot. But, he's got a little bit of a clear track here. But you see, like, Cody Riggs right here, he's still really in the back here. I mean, having a really big issue trying to get through these guys. Remember, he talked about it in the podcast as well. He didn't really have a lot of fire-off speed ever, like, anywhere he goes here. And this is like the one thing you need here with 30 to go is a lot of pace off the bat here. He doesn't have really a good long run to, take advantage of here.
And I think that is the perfect balance, right? So he's going to make a great move on Cody here and just cross him over, run that diamond down out of 2. But that is one of the things that you think in this league they're really going to be able to learn is one, there has to be that balance between long run speed and fire off speed, and part of that, and that's one of the great things I think that you learn in official races is having that really immediate fire off speed. And I'll tell you, this 87 car is rolling, but that 94 car right behind him, he's not letting him get too far away. Fowler is going to push this thing as hard as he can.
Yeah, I know he's hungry. I mean, he's been in a couple positions, not only in the Cup Series, but also in the trucks, right? He's been so close to, taking home a victory here. And then one of these series, he's hungry for a victory really bad. So, he's going to put everything out on the table here with, coming to 25 to go here. He's going to push his car as hard as it can.
I'll tell you, if I'm in the mentality of John, I'm thinking big picture. and I'm looking back to this third place driver of Josh King, who has gotten around Pettit here. So Pettit has actually fallen back to fourth, and that 17 car is coming. But you've got to look at this if you're Fowler and think, I need to make sure that I don't hit the wall like I just did. And, I'm managing this gap to third and trying to save a little bit of tire. You want to get this win, but you also don't want to put yourself out of a podium here by running too hard.
Exactly, and I mean, with the we restarted with what 35-ish laps to go here.
Yeah,
That's still quite a bit of laps, right? You will see tire wear by the end of this thing. So he has a four and a half second gap here to third place. He has the room to back off his pace a little bit. As long as he doesn't lose a bunch of time to your race, to the race leader here, he can afford to lose a second or two, save his stuff, and then make a charge at the end here.
I agree completely, and I think let's go on board here with Brandon. Let's see how hard he's pushing. He's pushing this car pretty hard. I can tell you he was wide open on the exit there as we hopped into his cockpit. But let's just take a lap around this nice clean air.
I mean, Brandon, I think he's doing what he needs to. I think with the clean air, with the position he in, I think it's smart for him to just try to run away, right?
Absolutely.
He's got John, who has consistently not been, just hasn't had the pace that he has throughout the whole race. John's gonna have to do a little bit something different to get back to him. He's had a probably top two, top three car all race here. So I think what Brandon's doing is doing what I think he needs to do to get this win here. And right now that's just trying to run away and trying to run fastest lap he can right now.
Well, I will tell you, running away is exactly what he is doing. He is 4/10 that last lap faster than what the second place car is. But one of the things that I'm noticing from Brandon is on this Xfinity car in particular. When you hear him go into the turn, you can hear him kind of burp the throttle and then jump back on it. I'm really, really hearing him set that front tire. You can kind of hear it there. I tried to be quiet right before he done it, but he can set that front and really get that thing on that right rear and turning, and then he can just manage the right rear all the way through the turn. Let's see if we can hear it here. Hear it kind of where he kind of burps the throttle and gets that car put on that right rear. So really nice stuff by him, and it shows in that gap that he has there.
Well, yeah, because the more you can kind of lean on that right rear, especially at a track like Kansas, I mean, the better you're the car's gonna drive throughout the long run. Because at a track like Kansas, it's always about like trying to manage that right front. But if you can get that thing kind of swung out just a little bit to where you're using up the right rear to help it turn versus the right front, I mean, then you can use that right front up towards the latter end of the run because you have it right at the end of the run to use. So. Right now, I think he's really doing what he needs to do, getting that car stepped out just enough to use that right rear to turn the car, and he's still continuing to pull away from these guys.
And I think John is trying to manage that gap. You're at 3.5 seconds here, but I've got to be honest. You're one of your faster cars on the track is this Josh King, running the bottom of this track and just absolutely flying. He ran a 32.69. To your leaders 32.68, but a 10th faster to Fowler at a 32.7. He's going to need a little bit more to be able to catch Fowler here before the end of this race, but with 19 to go, but he is certainly one of your faster cars. Let's see what he turns here. 32.789. So he is consistently a 10th faster than your second place car, but he's not going to have that kind of time.
Yeah, he definitely needs a caution or something to get him up there, right? A tenth, two tenths isn't gonna give him enough pace to get up to John. John's getting ready to cross the start finish line now. He's exiting 4, so I don't think there's gonna be enough time for him to get to John without a caution or a mistake out of the foot too.
Let's roll back through and take a look at Cody. We obviously knew that his car was going to be quick on the long runs. He is currently fifth. He's back up to that high side, running kind of that diamond where he's getting really close to that wall in the apex of 1 and 2, and then coming back off. But really great run from him. This is a top 5 run, and I think you're going to see him in the next 10 laps be one of the quicker cars on the track. The problem is he's 9.5 seconds behind the leader.
Yeah, that's the issue. I mean, the one thing I'll tell Cody is like, hey, you got a top 5 locked in. Unless you wreck the thing, I mean, you're not gonna lose any more spots. So keep the car clean. You know, it doesn't matter. You're gonna run in the back for the rest of the race, and you're gonna keep the top 5. So unfortunately, the caution came out when it did, kind of ruined a couple of these guys' chances to go race for that win. But I mean, you can't complain about the top 5. I know his first couple of races have not been what he wanted them to. So definitely a great recovery from him.
I agree completely. And you've got James Smith in that 10 car. Really great run. Another quiet night here for that 10 car, but sneaky in the 6th position, and a pretty good ways in front of this 6 car for that 6th position. But Johnny Barker, which was running 11th and 12th most of the night, up into 7th now.
Yeah, Johnny really needed that caution to kind of level out the play plate. Remember, you know, he was kind of behind the ball. I don't know where he got that damage from, but he got damage from somewhere. He was just trying to play catch up the whole game, the whole race, and unfortunately, he had already won a lap down through the pit cycle. But you know, he's up here with a decent track position, and you know, sitting in 7th place.
Yeah, and I think you look at this 98 car of Cliff Adams, really good run by him too. 8th, Brandon Ish in 19th, and then you've got Colin Johnson in that 13 car that was playing that fuel strategy a little bit earlier on. Really interesting to see how that would have played out, but really good, strong top 10 right now.
Yeah, I really wish we could have seen him and how that works. You see him in the wall, but unfortunately, that caution kind of derailed any, you know, attempt he was gonna have at like maybe doing that stop and go because you know, uh, the caution came out and kind of forced everybody down pit road. So, and he had already gone a lap down by nature just because he stayed out that long on that first stint. So,
Well,
fortunately, we didn't get to see that happen. But you know, top 10 is a top 10.
yeah, you've got a nasty battle here too. I think Dwayne Simons is going to take that 10th spot from Colin, and he does here, and then gets back up to that high side, that dominant high side, and then you're going to see the lead car here of the 12 try to make it by these guys. But so Simons is going to be up into the 10th position, who is a teammate of the 19 car that's right in front of him here. So that's going to be a pretty close battle. But, you know, one of the things I've just seen is Adam has taken over this 3rd position from the 17 car.
About to say, speaking of close battles, Adam takes it away, but he's in the wall here coming out of turn 2. He's going to keep that spot, though. I think that maybe that 17 had used his stuff up trying to catch up here. Once again, Adam, one of the best at pacing himself, trying to make his way back up here. But fortunately, Adam right now, one of the faster cars on the track, but just not enough time to get him up here. You know, going 9 to go here. He needs a caution or something to happen to give him a chance.
I think when you see this, I think you realize, and that's what you want to realize by if you're Adam is, you know, I had to take a wave around. I got caught by that late caution. I'm just going to get around, take my time, and just pass who I can. And sometimes that'll make you faster. But speaking of fast, this gentleman here is just absolutely gone. 5.2 second lead on Fowler, but Fowler is still with a about 3.3 second lead to the 3rd place car. So I think he's got this sewn up as long as he continues to run consistent lap times.
Yeah, but once again, you got to think, you know, Pettit. No, I think Pettit has the faster car right here, and you know Pettit's going to give it all he's got to try to get to Fowler here. And like consistently running a little bit faster. So I definitely think if he hits his marks here, he might have a shot at this.
Let's see, we've got 8 to go, and then we've got a 33.5 to a 33.1. So he has picked up, Adam has picked up 4 tenths on that lap from John. So, yeah, I definitely agree that if John does not start to turn some lap times, he is going to get caught here. But Brandon Massey still your fastest car out on the track here at 33.142. And I got to be honest, Christian, I've seen this win coming for a while now. In the truck series, he's had some great runs. We've seen some great runs here in the Xfinity early on. We're only on race 3 here, but I've seen this coming, and I think really you are seeing a coming of age driver in this 87 car that says I'm going to be a contender in this Xfinity league all season long.
Yeah, I definitely think. I mean, he's definitely putting himself out. I was like, hey, Fowler. I mean, Pettit won the first two races, but I'm gonna come out here and dominate this race. So yeah, he's definitely putting his name out there as a contender for the championship.
Anytime you can put a 6 second gap on the second place car with inside of 30 laps to go, that is a huge win for you. And I will tell you, just this last lap, it looks like John was able to turn it back up a little bit, and he was only about a 1.3, about a tenth and a third slower than Pettit. So as long as he can keep that, I believe he's got this second place sewn up here.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I mean, John. I think maybe he's watching the broadcast and he heard us being like, hey, he's got to pick it up. You see Pettit in the wall a little bit there. So, I mean, Pettit's pushing as hard as he can. Try to get back up there. But as long as Fowler can at least run within 2 tenths, I think he's got this under wraps here.
I really do, and you can still see Pettit here. Just loose on exit. I think it's just I think it's a line for him. I think it's the way that he wanted to drive this car. If you look at Pettit, you can hear those tires screaming, really pushing hard. You can hear him pushing hard. He wants that second place finish, and this is what all you can ask for from a driver is to give it everything that you've got, and when that race is over, to say that's all I had.
No, I definitely agree. And I mean, that's exactly what Adam's doing right here. I mean, putting that thing in the wall out of turn four almost every lap here, trying to squeeze everything he can. Unfortunately, that's not gaining any time, but he is definitely putting that car to its limits here. But coming with 3 to go here, Brandon, I mean, as long as he doesn't wreck or get caught up in anything, he's going to walk it off here.
I mean, this is clear sailing for him as long as you do not see. Yeah, Pettit's streak does come to an end tonight. We've got some chatters here. It does come to an end tonight, 2 in a row, and he had a good car, great car early on. I think Massey had a really fast car too early on, and from the second stint on, this has really been Massey's race. By the way, we miss you in the truck series. Can't wait to see you back whenever you have time. But yeah, I think this is Massey's race by far. 2 to go.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it in the last broadcast. Well, what is Pettit going to? Is Pettit going to come out here and continue to dominate? Now we can see that. You know, we poked the bear right here, and now Massey, you know, is coming out here. We saw Pettit getting the wall there, and the 17 starting to even closing on him just a little bit. But he's battling with that 98.
Yeah, we are on this final lap and really want to really take a lap around with Massey, and that's good to hear, man. Happy to hear you're going to be here tomorrow. So, and this 87 car, really dominant performance from the first green flag stop on, and we are going to see the second winner of the season in Brandon Massey in that 87 car.
Yeah, coming out turn 4, he's going to cross the line here, and he's going to win. I mean, what a dominating performance here by that 87. Top 2 car, and showed, he was the guy to beat. We thought maybe it was Adam for the first part, and then once he got around him, he quite literally never gave up that lead. So, what a win, what a performance, and, definitely going to help him up with the points with this win.
Well-deserved win by this 87 car. Really great race by everybody. One caution. Can't wait to talk to the top 3 drivers and pull them in here. I know John is going to be excited to take a car where he was 4th or 5th on that first run and come out with a second place by running long on that second green flag pit stop. So great job by him. But I do believe that your fastest car and your most dominant car here took that victory tonight.
No, I definitely agree. I mean, by far the most dominant car. I mean, when you're able to gap the fields, I mean, what, 7 seconds, almost 8 seconds in 35 laps. I mean, that's all you have to say really about that. So, but we're gonna see the 87 burner down here, and we'll get ready to drag your top three in.
That sounds good. I'll just sit here and work the cameras if you want to drag those guys in.
Well, I guess we'll talk to you, P3 driver of Adam. Hey, Adam, it's Christian and John up in the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
I got you guys.
Well, I guess the streak is over. Not going 3 for 3, but P3 here at your home track here at Kansas. Walk us through race. Walk us through that those last 35 laps.
Yeah, I finished about kind of where I thought I would. Just glad to get out of here with the top 5. I love the track, but it does not love me. I don't know how to race it. Unfortunately, though, I maybe would have been a little bit better, but got stuck as a wave around car, and the pack didn't catch up to the rest of the field, and then we had a bunch of lap cars wanting to race us like they were on the lead lap. Which, I mean, I get it. They're racing with the other lap cars, but when they've got a second or two to the next one, it's like just kind of let the leaders go. But all in all, is what it is. I'll come out of here with the top 3 and move on to the next one.
Yeah, Adam, I felt like that first run, I felt like you were pushing pretty hard to get that clean air, which I thought was a brilliant idea. Get out front, get that clean air on the nose, and try to control the pace of the race. And I thought you really did that in that first stint. I felt like Brandon pushed really hard to get in front of you. When you come back out of the pits there, and I thought once he'd done that, he was really able to save his tires a little bit more. I felt like for you when I was watching your in car, you were doing such a fantastic job of really getting that car on the right rear and hooking that top line. Did you come into the race thinking I'm going to run the top line, or did you come in thinking I'm going to try to stick the bottom line and save tires?
So I did a practice race last night with my teammate Cody, and I thought I was gonna have to run the bottom of 1 and 2, and then the top of 3 and 4, because you just need the momentum to go all the way around the front stretch. Um, and that was kind of gonna be my strategy. But as that first stint there, showed, I knew Brandon was faster than me, but if I rode the top, he wasn't gonna be able to get around me.
Hmm.
Um, he took a couple dives there, and coming out of 4, going into 3, and coming out of 4, he just couldn't wash up enough because I was because I was there. And so that's what saved me. And I knew as soon as he got around me, the race for me was going to be over because I wasn't able to keep him behind me anymore. I think there was a lap car or something, and I had to slam on the brakes pretty hard. But all in all, you know, I didn't deserve to win, even if I was, if that wouldn't have happened. Brandon was much better than me tonight. And John as well. John definitely earned that second place finish. Sucks what happened to Isaac, but it's what allowed me to finish P3 tonight. So I'll take it.
Yeah, you will. Well, listen, it was a good race. Only one caution in this Xfinity series. I got to tell you, Adam, I feel like this is some of the best racing that we have at SSR. It's been a fantastic series so far, and I just want to turn the mic over to you one and tell you, man, thank you very much for participating in this and helping all of these drivers and coming out here and showing what real stewardship is out here on the track. So we appreciate that, and we're going to turn it over to you, Adam, and let you give your thanks out.
Of course. Yeah. Being that this is our entry level series, and I think we've had what 3, 4 cautions the entire season so far, and that's including Daytona. Hats off to every single one of these drivers. They're absolutely crushing it. Want to give a big shout out to Ghost Sim Racing, stepping on board, coming on the car. Love the pedals. They helped me. It definitely wasn't lack of pedal performance that didn't win this race. It was just driver suckiness. Um, and then want to give a shout out to Brandon for the win, and Cody, my teammate there, for a good top 5 finish. And you guys are putting on one heck of a broadcast. I'm excited to go back and watch it here tomorrow.
Appreciate it, Adam. Thank you very much.
Thanks, guys.
That was your P3 finisher of Adam Pettit. So, I guess we'll bring in the boss man himself, John Fowler, and I'll get his thoughts on the race. Hey, John, it's Christian and John up in the booth. You got a copy?
Heck yeah, what's up, fellas? Good to talk to y'all.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is the first time you being up in the podium spot. I mean, so that's always a good thing to do. But yeah, I mean, you're up there, what, in the top 5 really all race there. So just walk us through race, walk us through that last 35 laps, maybe what you could have done differently to maybe get to that 87 car.
Man, to be honest, I think that's all I had. That's all I had. My partner, Joe Hudson, was behind me. He was like, hit that mark, hit that mark. There you go. Nice job. Keep it going, keep it going. And oh my God, my arm hurts. I drove all I could do, man. I ain't gonna lie. That was so much fun. I had a blast trying to keep. Then they kept saying, Adam's behind you. Just hold your line, hold your line. So, man, I was just having a blast. I couldn't catch 87. He was gone. I was like, he gone.
Well, John, I felt like we've really seen a lot of progression out of you so far this year, not only in the Cup Series, the Truck Series, and here, where you had a great pole drive here today, and then I saw a lot of patience from you. Early on in that race, I saw you kind of at the bottom, and you got kind of hung on the bottom, dropped back to about fourth or fifth, and I really saw you just kind of pace yourself and bide your time. And when that late caution came out, and it was just you and Brandon on the lead lap, and you knew everybody was going to take the wave around, I thought you really managed the gap well. In your mind throughout the rest of this race, especially on that last green flag run, did you think all I need to do here is finish second?
Yeah, I did. I really did. I was like, all right, guys, I just gotta keep hitting my marks. Joe was behind me, like I was saying. He was like, stop, just hit your marks, just finish second. I was like, yeah, I'm not catching him. He's gone. There's nothing I can do. I'm having a great night. Hey, John, I got to give you credit, my man. We did some practice. That was fun over the weekend. I did my 43 laps the first time, like we talked about, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna go a little long just in case a caution comes out. And man, sure crap, caution came out. I was like, yes. And matter of fact, it was Joe Hudson, and it came across the Discord. He was like, oh crap, and I was like, oh crap, let's get back on the track. So yeah, that was my luck was there tonight. Then they said Adam's trapped behind a whole bunch of cars. So I was like, well, I just gotta keep this distance. I gotta keep hitting my lines, keep hitting my lines. So that's what I did, man. It was so much fun. Thank you so much for doing this, guys.
Yeah, we appreciate it, John, and I'll turn it over to Christian. But it was a great run for you. I think you were opportunistic tonight. You kept all the fenders on your car, and you did exactly what a driver needs to do to win a championship. So that was a great heads up, under control race tonight.
Well, I appreciate it, John.
Well, yeah, I mean, John kind of hit all the marks. I was gonna say, racing with you as a driver in the Cup Series, watching you in the Truck Series as a broadcaster and doing my few races up here in the booth in the Xfinity Series and just racing with you in general in the Cup Series, we've definitely seen a lot of improvement. I don't know if it's those pedals that you just got or if it's always been in you. You've been blaming the pedals, but I think you've always had it in you. And the pedals have just been an excuse, but yeah, but we love to see that you're improving and stuff. But lastly, we'll just leave the floor open for any shout outs, fans, friends and family watching at home, or any sponsors you want to shout out.
Yeah, hey guys, I appreciate it for y'all broadcasting this. I gotta start off by thanking John. Hey John, I appreciate you, my man. You helped me this weekend. I appreciate that. My teammates, Joe Hudson, man, like I said, he was behind me. Hit your marks, John. That's a great line. That's a great line. And it just felt good to have that motivation, that person in your ear, and just he was counting down the seconds and all that stuff for me. It was awesome. So thank you to my team. Thank you for everybody, my sponsors. I got complete designs. Complete graphics on my car. I got Scary Strokes, of course, always. They're getting ready to remodel. They're getting ready to upgrade. So I appreciate them. And yeah, I appreciate my wife again, man. She let me buy all these. And like you said, Christian, it's these pedals, man. I'm telling you, it's these pedals.
Well, we're gonna let you go, John. It sounds like you're pretty stoked for this podium, so we're gonna let you get out of here, celebrate with friends and family, or anybody else you need to, and hopefully we can come in and talk to you here once again, maybe in Victory Lane. So
Yeah, I am stoked, man. But just because this is a good start for me, man. I got the pole. I got this like my second top 3, and I got 2 top 2s. So I'm doing good, man. I'm really stoked. Thank you, guys.
yep, we'll talk to you soon. Have a good rest of the night.
All right, later.
Well, there was an ecstatic John Fowler there for you all. But lastly, we got your race winner. By far probably the best driver in the field right now. Really showed that he knew his stuff tonight. So let's go ahead and talk to your race winner and Brandon Massey. Hey, Brandon, it's Christian and John up in the booth again. You got a copy?
I got you guys.
Well, I mean, you basically showed you were the guy to beat. We'll see if John can pull it up on the ticker, but led a huge portion of the laps here, and that caution came out there. You said you thought you had a good chance at going out there and leading the laps here, and you did. So just walk us through your race, walk us through those last 35 laps, and what was going through your head.
Yeah, man. Just patience at first run. I felt like I was faster than the 46 there, but it's just a matter of trying to stay patient and we had a long race in front of us. 130 laps. In these cars is a good distance, and so I pitted at the same time he did, and then I just happened to catch a lap car right at the right time, and was just able to use it as a pick, and I hope it didn't ruin his race. But at that point, man, it was. I just had to get clean air on the front of the car and try to do what I could and work my way through lap traffic. And then, yeah, when we seen that caution, I was on my lap to pit. I really was. And when I seen the caution, I thought, well, this is interesting. So we can see what happens from here. And I wasn't for sure how many cars we had a lap down. But yeah, you just got to keep your head down and go back to work, not overdrive the car, and just go finish the thing out.
So Brandon, I kind of have an SSR question for you, and because I think even during the podcast, we had pulled you up and talked to you under the caution, and I was really, we would hop into your cockpit on the broadcast and watch you, and I thought you were doing a really intelligent thing here, where you were kind of double touching the throttle on entry to set the front end of the car and be able to drive off a little bit better. And I think that helped you, especially in the long run, where you didn't really eat the right front tire like a lot of people were, where they were struggling and touching the wall in the apex. But even more than that, and I want you to talk to that. But the second question I have for you, and then I'll let you go after it, is when you get into these leagues like SSR, and we've seen you hop into the trucks, and then of course you're here in the Xfinity series when it started. Do you think it takes you a little bit of time, or a driver a little bit of time, when they first come into these leagues, to really get used to it, really get comfortable, and do you think that really matters in the races that you can put together, being in a league that you're comfortable and happy to run in?
Yeah. So, to answer the first question, yeah, I was doing what I could, just try to set the front on an entry, and then just kind of roll towards the center, and then be able to throttle off. I got a text message from Ira, my teammate, and he said, "You've done it before. You know what to do. Don't forget to diamond the corners." And I was like, all right, man, I got you. And so, yeah, I mean, it's just a lot of trail braking. I'll be honest, I was trail braking when I was just driving a lot different. I actually, 2 years ago, won a race here, maybe even longer, in the Gen 6 car, and drove this car a lot like that one in that race. And so I told Ira, I said, man, if I can get the opportunity to drive it about the same, I think I might be all right, but we'll see. But yeah, it's just a lot of trail braking, just rolling, not trying to burn the back ends off of it, but not trying to eat up the front ends either. Just patience, man. You just got to be patient. But yeah, coming into SSR, man, I hadn't raced in almost 2 years, or a little over 2 years. And me and Ira had a conversation, and he said, man, I think I got a really good league that you could come in. And I said, well, see what you can do. And yeah, everybody's here is great, man. Great competitors, fast guys. Um, for me, it took a few races to get accustomed to being back behind the wheel again. But everybody here, for the most part, is really, really respectful. I love how things are done here with SSR. You guys do a great job, and I'm be honest at it to be able to now call this home after not being in the car for almost 2 years.
Well, I'll tell you, you definitely put on a show tonight, and you were the class of the field. I think once that once everybody got the wave around, it was just you and John there. I felt like, especially on fresh tires, you were going to push that car and get that lead, and once you got that clean air, you'd never look back. So yeah, I'll turn it over to Christian, but I thought you drove really a great race tonight. You were very patient on that first stint. Took your opportunity on that second stint, and then you set sail. So really good heads up, intelligent racing tonight.
I appreciate that for sure. Thank you.
Well, yeah, I mean, John kind of took the words out of my mouth. Just an impressive race. Flag to flag there. We're up towards the front throughout really the whole race. Really never went outside that top 4 or 5. So, but before we let you go, anybody want to shout out any friends or family at home or any sponsors you want to shout out for this win here at Kansas?
Yeah, absolutely, man. First and foremost, I'd like to thank the good Lord above, because without him, we couldn't do what we do. I want to give a shout out to my wife for allowing me the time to come back here and take away from us to be able to come back here and race, man. Great supporter, and she follows me on these craziest adventures of wanting to race and all these things that I get myself into, and without her support, man, I just couldn't do it. And I want to say I love you, doll. Thank you for supporting me. I want to give a shout out to my dad, my mom, man. This win more than anything is for my dad. To be honest, guys, my man's been going through a little bit of health issues over the last couple years, man, and I wanted to get back to racing because I know he enjoys it, and he loves watching it. And one of our biggest supporters when me and Ira was teammates before was my dad. So this one's for him, and my mom, my kiddos. I can't wait to tell my daughter Lexi. She's going to be pumped. Man, I want to give a shout out to JB's Print Shop. That's mine and my dad's business, man. Thank you guys for coming on board and supporting us. I want to give a shout out to my teammate Ira, Bohiga Esports, John, everybody here, man, at SSR. You all do a great job. I absolutely love how it's ran. And yeah, I don't know where we're next week, man, but I kind of feel like that weight's been lifted off the shoulders, and now we can just go race.
I couldn't
Well, we
agree with you
definitely.
more, Brandon, and I think you're right. And Christian and I were talking about it. We said, hey, that first two race streak is broke, and I believe really at the end, Christian, we talked about it where we said, Brandon's just come on the scene, and he's a force to be reckoned with for the rest of the season.
Yeah, man, I
Yeah.
feel like I gave an opportunity away at Texas. I'm going to tell you, I didn't have anything for the 46 of Texas. At best, I was a second place car. But I feel like I gave a podium away on that late race restart. And I'd messaged Ira and I said, man, I gave an opportunity away at an interview to shout out Dad and everybody, and it being real close to his birthday. And so that one kind of torqued me a little bit, kind of got me in my feels. And coming here tonight, I was like, yeah, we're not going to do that again, man. We just got to keep our head clear and not worry about last week. Focus on tonight, and then see where we go next week, and try to do it all over again. But I appreciate you guys, man, for coming up here and do this. It takes a lot of effort to run these leagues and do these broadcasts, and I appreciate you guys.
Well, we definitely appreciate the kind words, and definitely think about your dad and stuff. Hopefully, the best for him. But we're gonna let you go here to celebrate with anybody, friends, family, sponsors, wherever it is, and hopefully we can come down and talk to you again in Victory Lane once again next week. So, but hopefully you have a great rest of the night, and we'll talk to you soon.
Appreciate you guys.
All right.
Now,
What a great race, great interviews, Christian. I absolutely had a blast.
it was definitely a fun race, and like I said, I am biased, but I mean, as it my home track, it's one of my favorite tracks to watch or race at or commentate, whatever it is. I always look forward to coming here to Kansas Speedway and looking at everything and commentating or whatever it is because it's a great racetrack, very unique racetrack. But before we let you guys go, I'm gonna go and take a look at your race results if we can get those pulled up.
Yeah, let me pull them up right here. So we've got Brandon Massey taking the win, and pretty dominant win, Christian, when you think about it here at 7.5 seconds ahead. And then we got Fowler that finished second, Pettit third, and Josh King. Really great run for Josh King. Really good, strong run there at the end. I thought he might have had third sewn up, but ran his tires a little bit too hard and let Adam get back by him. But Cody Riggs is going to finish out your top five. Really good run from him. Cliff Adams, Brandon Ish, Johnny Barker in eighth, uh, Dwayne Simons in ninth, and Dwayne, we want to hear a good call out that we took care of your name all night long and we didn't mispronounce it. And James Smith is going to finish in the top 10.
Yeah, you got Colin Johnston in the number 13 P11. Remember, here's the one with that different pitch strategy, pitting at lap 58 on that first stint, but he's going to come on P11. P12, Cody DeForest, you remember him getting caught up with the 47 into the grass early in the race, recovers to P12. Jordan Marion in P13, Ron Lousy in P14. Joe Hudson caught up in that wreck towards the middle of the race. With about 35 to go, he's going to finish P15. Joseph Atchison, P16. Michael Wingo, P17. Isaac Mock, unfortunately got taken out in that wreck involving him and Joe Hudson, and Hafton in the race short. Unfortunate for him, had a very fast car, but he's going to finish 18th. And Derek Katz going to round out your field. And P19, remember, he had those issues early towards the race. Thought he blew right front, and I guess had to park the car for the night.
Well, I will tell you, just as we kind of look around this, Christian, and we go back over it, I think there's a couple of takeaways that I want to talk to you about real quick, and one of those is again, one caution tonight from a wreck on entry to pit road or whatever really happened there with the 49. But I think Adam said it best. We've got three races, and Daytona is one of those races, and we've got three races and four cautions. So for an Xfinity series that we come in and we say, hey, this is a series where we want you to come in, learn, get better, drive harder, move up to the truck to the Cup Series. Really impressed with that. And the other thing that I can tell you is, really good racing all the way around and a lot of great respect by the drivers tonight.
Yeah, definitely really respectful. I mean, you saw, a lot of breaks given. You saw a lot of drivers, if they saw someone else was faster, they just, let them go. Didn't really try to fight them too hard or anything else like that. So, I mean, you love to see that. And, you know, and I definitely agree, right? I mean, there's a lot of drivers that are making a case to maybe, if they do want to, to maybe go up and race in the trucks, even before this season ends, or even in Cup, if they really show that they're making a name for themselves here. So, but definitely really respectful racing, and can't wait to, whether I'm in a booth or watching the broadcast, can't wait for next week.
Oh, it's going to be terribly exciting, and we have, this is race 3 of a 15 race series, and we're going to go 15 straight. So we're not going to take a break, and this is a straight point series. So every position counts. You get some damage on your car. You got to go in, got to get that fixed, get back out, get as many points as you can. And I think this is going to get a little bit wild. We've got a mile and a half, and then we got a super speedway and back to a mile and a half. But it's going to get a little crazy. We've got some road courses coming up. We've got some other things. We got some short tracks coming up. There's going to be some fireworks here at the Xfinity series. But I got to tell you, the way that we've started now, this has been some fantastic racing, and we've seen some guys like Brandon Massey come and Adam, great couple of starts. John Fowler, finishing second, the at Daytona, finishing second tonight. We've got some drivers here that are really going to challenge for that win, and I'm excited to see what this is going to boil down to at Championship Week.
No, I definitely agree. I mean, and you kind of, said it exactly the way it needs to be said, right? With the full points, right? Um, Obviously, consistently really really matters, but obviously, having a race or two where you're outside the top 5, outside the top 10, it really doesn't really matter as much as it would for a knockout style playoffs or whatever. So definitely with the 15 races, we only have 3 down. It definitely still gives these drivers quite a bit of time to maybe figure out the car, figure out what they need to do, and potentially start moving their way up the charts.
Absolutely. So, with that, we are going to wrap up. We certainly appreciate everybody joining us on Twitch. We will upload this to YouTube as well. Probably be first thing in the morning. We'll be live so that you can view it on YouTube. But if you haven't already, we'd appreciate you giving us a follow and a like there on the SSR Twitch channel so that we can bring you these broadcasts once a week. So certainly appreciate it, Christian. Thank you for joining me in the booth tonight. Hopefully, you can join me for many more races for the rest of this season. And yeah, I'm super excited about next week.
Yeah, I'm super excited about next week. But yeah, just as John said, make sure to drop a follow on this Switch channel. I know all the guys over at SSR are doing a really great job with the broadcast and stuff, doing in-house. In-house broadcasting for league super isn't an easy thing to do. Have to give a huge shout out to High Velocity TV for allowing us to use their ticker and overlays and stuff. So we couldn't do it without them. But yeah, hopefully everybody has a good rest of the night, and I can't wait for next week or for whoever's in here. But yeah, hopefully you guys have a good rest of the night, and we will see you guys next Monday here for some more Xfinity racing.
All
So
right.
hopefully we have a good rest of the night, and we'll see you guys soon.
Thanks, Christian. Night, everyone.